Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, this is the last video that I'm going to make from my hotel makeshift headquarters in South Carolina because the gathering from PSA is now over. If you want to catch a few of the highlights, check out my Instagram at Langley Outdoors to get a few of the shenanigans we got into. Overall, really great time. If you're ever in the area next year, I recommend you check it out. Now the other thing here is, before we get into this article around the Ohio concealed carry, make sure you guys weren't accidentally removed by that pesky YouTube algorithm from the subscription list, because I had a few people tell me they did, and we had a few instances of subscriber reduction, and make sure that bell wasn't accidentally turned off as well. You know how pesky those algorithms can be, so we make sure you get your daily dose of freedom. But now, everything will be linked in the description box below, and let's get this article. Now, I want to hit this opinion piece because that's what we do on bullet points, first of all. But second of all, I want to show you where their minds are at around constitutional carry from Ohio, because we've been waiting for a week on this. And the reason I've broken this down the way that I have is I want to show you these are the arguments they're going to recycle in Indiana, in Nebraska, in Georgia. As our constitutional carry movement grows and we go above 50% of states and further next year, this is what we're going to hear. So the sooner that we can get used to these arguments, the sooner we can get in front of them. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's get it. Gun law puts people at risk for harm at the hands of individual Rambos. Opinion. Individual Rambos. We'll get to that in a second. Now, this is from Friday, okay? So again, I've kind of bullet pointed these, but here's one of four. The courts and Ronald Reagan. The Ohio Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of Ohio's prohibition on concealed or carrying concealed weapons and ruled that, quote, there is no constitutional right to bear concealed weapons. Yeah, oh yeah? Wait till the New York case comes down in about a month and a half. Make sure you're here for that one, because that's going to be breaking news where it becomes constitutional, hopefully. President Ronald Reagan, moreover, recognized government's first duty is to protect the people from enemies foreign and domestic, not to regulate rights of individual citizens against other individual citizens. I don't know why the left does this. I have no idea why people do this, where they invoke the name of Ronald Reagan and all of a sudden we're supposed to like drone, just kind of like whip into shape and all of a sudden agree with them. I don't understand that concept, but they do it a lot, and especially since they don't agree with Ronald Reagan on mostly anything. I don't know why they do it. But anyway, let's keep going. Subjective view of protection. That's the bullet I have for this one. By enacting the law to allow untrained individuals to carry concealed weapons, government fails in this first duty to protect us and turns to untrained vigilantes for the concealed carrier's subjective view of protection. There's a lot in this one. First of all, the big onus that they're putting on is the untrained individuals, right? That's what they're introing in this little snippet. The point is, and this, I don't understand why this is lost on people who do not agree with the gun world. It's not like you carry a gun and you say, I've got a gun, I'm going to carry it around, I'm going to do whatever I want because I'm America. Gun ownership is looked at as one of the most responsible pieces of citizenry that you can do. If you own a firearm, I promise you, I'm going to be much more practiced and proficient out of a need for responsibility than the 8 days or 8 hours of training that you're going to require. What's going to be safer? Someone who carries a gun because they took 8 hours of safety courses 3 years ago, or someone who goes to a range every 2 weeks? The difference there is one is government mandated and they don't have to do anything after that, and the other is personally mandated. It's responsibility driven. I like ours a lot better, but they don't seem to connect that. The next piece here, untrained vigilantes for the concealed carrier's subjective view of protection. They're questioning the idea that you would make the decision to carry your gun and say, well, it's subjective. That's not really true. You just think that. Not really true, and we're going to dive into that in 1 second. Now, here's what I've labeled contradiction, because this is fascinating. Buckeye Firearms Association knows that the purpose of carrying a concealed handgun is to surprise an opponent. No kidding. Quote, you hope to have the element of surprise when you carry concealed. Yeah, because if you have a gun on your hip, you're a target. That surprise cannot happen if you are carrying openly. Exactly. Enacting permitless concealed carry would lessen my ability, this is coming from the writer's perspective, and the ability of others to defend by avoiding people who are carrying guns. Okay, so there's a lot there in that last part. So you're not okay with concealed carry through the permitting system then, because if the whole idea and your defense mechanism is to identify a gun that's open carried on a hip, then according to this logic, you aren't okay with the concealed carry system as it stands either, because you have to see the gun. You have to identify the threat in order to perform your defense strategy, which, by the way, is running away and cowering because an inanimate object is floating on someone's hip. Just saying. But does that make sense? You're going at it from a perspective of, if I can see the gun, it's open carry, then I'm okay. Well, then why are you fighting against constitutional carry if you're not even okay with the existing permitting system? It's almost like you don't want guns to exist. Just saying. And also, which criminal do you know is going to openly carry a gun to give you a warning? It doesn't make any. It's not based in logic or fact or understanding of human behavior at all. And this part I just labeled as extreme because that's where the Rambo part comes in. Why put the lives of law enforcement and all Ohioans at greater risk of death and other harm to satisfy a vigilante craving for 21-year-olds without any training in guns to act like individual Rambos? What part of Rambo? What are you talking about? The idea that they're going to carry a gun, that they have been background vetted, that they have the constitutional right to do, all of a sudden makes them individual Rambos and vigilantes? They're taking the gun to protect themselves or their families into areas where they don't know what's going to happen because criminals don't obey those laws. They don't open carry. For some reason, you think criminals will and give you a fair warning. The whole point here is it's not individualism and being a Rambo. The point is preparing to defend yourself and your others by taking your own responsibility of your rights and not relying on the government to provide you protection like this individual is advocating for. That's what I have for you guys this morning. I wanted to show you where their heads are at because reality, they don't have anything. This entire thing was thrown together with emotion and ranting and just throwing it on the wall and hoping it sticks. And that's why I want to show it to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one tonight at 9 p.m. Braden, signing out.